Hey, welcome to this smart show. This is going to be such an intelligent show today. And it's also, I hope you have your coffee with you because you are on the Coffee Break Show with Vickie Helm. Today I have John Lee, and we are going to talk about the power of apps, but especially noted for podcasters. So we will see you in a second. You're on the Success Secrets for Business, Family, and Life channel. This is the Coffee Break Show. Today we have John Lee. Welcome to the Coffee Break Show. I'm so happy you're here today.
Hi, Vickie. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited about the conversation we're going to have today because one is I've never thought about this, and two, I think it's such an interesting topic. So we're going to be talking about app development, but you do app development specifically for podcasters, yes?
That's right. Yep.
How
Specifically for
did you even
podcasters.
how did you get into that? I mean, how did you think
Mm.
of this, and why did you target the podcasters? I think that's such an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a journey. I didn't jump right into this particular business. I had started a couple of years ago to try to create my own podcast app. So something like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, where a person could just use that to subscribe to podcasts and listen to shows, and specifically like make clips and share them with family and friends. That was the idea back, 3 or 4 years ago. That's where it all started. Eventually, I mean, that didn't work out, and I pivoted the idea a couple of times and came to this current idea. As a big fan of podcasts myself, it's the main way I consume content now.
Yeah.
I spoke with a lot of podcasters as part of that journey, so it seemed to me that it made sense to offer this to podcasters as another way to promote their shows and also connect with their listeners, because it wasn't something that I saw was very popular. Even now, it's not something that I see most podcasters are aware of. Although some bigger podcasts do have their own mobile apps, they know the value of that and they're trying to get their listeners to come onto their own mobile apps. But it's not something that most indie podcasters are aware of. And if they are, it's not something that they could afford. It can be very, very expensive to build your own mobile app from scratch.
Yeah.
So when I found something that I could offer at a very affordable rate, I thought, let's try to get it out there and see if there might be interest among podcasters to offer their own mobile app. So yeah, that's kind of where I landed.
I think it's so important that we're talking about this right now because I've been thinking myself. So I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I've done over 600 shows, and I have a pretty big audience, etc. And the thing about the audience piece of it is my audience is diversified. It's not all in one place. So if I wanted to give a shout out to everybody, I have to figure out every single platform I'm going to give a shout on. And there isn't a place really for them to meet, one place where they can interact with me. And this is why I think this is very interesting, because when you have your app, you suddenly have ownership of your audience. Right now, every listening platform has ownership of your audience. And so what happens is if they make the rules, if they don't like what you're talking about, I mean, they can just shut you off or demonetize you in a moment. And I know that it's not just podcasters, but it's vloggers. It's a lot of people who are creating content who are saying, okay, you want me to create content for you, but then you want to monitor the content I'm creating for you in such a way to say, do we agree with this? Do we don't agree with this? Where could you have an interaction with uh, all of your listeners? If you got the app, that would be the answer to that. Inside
Right.
the app, there's one place where they would meet. They would say, oh, this is the show. And I like that idea because now suddenly, instead of, you know, getting loaned an audience, you would own an audience. And that community, that's where the business is. The business is actually in the growing community. And all we're doing right now is growing audiences for platforms that we don't own. And I think that is a cool thing that you're doing. And I
Hmm.
want to know, outside of, like, tell us a little bit about how the app that you would design works. I mean, give us a little bit more of the inner workings and why you would design it for, so they had more control of their audience.
Right. So thank you for that. That's exactly the value of what we're offering. Just a comment on that though. Normally, podcasters would want their listeners to come to their website. That would be your home on the
Yeah.
web. Come to my website, sign up for the e-newsletter or
Mm.
buy my book so we can build that relationship directly. That's where the value of owning your audience comes in. You said that exactly right. The mobile app would be an extension of your website. But the cool thing about a mobile app, as everyone knows, it's on your phone. It's in your pocket. It's the front door to your home or your studio, right in the pockets of your listeners. So that's where the immediate access piece comes in. So the question was like, how do we get started? Um, I would help custom build a branded mobile app for podcasters. So if you would say at the end of your show, listeners find our app on the App Store and Google Play, they can look for the Coffee Break Show on the
Mhm.
App Store, and it would be an app just for your show. So they would download it just like they do any other app. You wouldn't be sharing that app with any other show. It would just be for your show. All the content you'd want one tap away for your listener would be there. So it's a nice tidy package. It's kind of the way I see it. It's a nice packaged presentation of your content. If it's audio, it can be audio, it can be video, your written content. And then the listener on the phone is just like one tap away from converting, whatever that means. That could be signing up
Yes.
to a newsletter, it could be buying your book or signing up for a course. I think being one tap away from the content to then becoming a customer is where the business opportunity is, I think, for podcasters. And I see podcasters as small business owners. So yeah, that's the product. We have a login portal where our customers log in. They can manage the content themselves, but for the most part, the apps are self-sustaining. We pull in your RSS feeds. You're not going into multiple places to update content. It's going to dynamically update with the content you're already publishing
Mm,
to other
mm, mm.
platforms like your RSS feed, your YouTube videos, your blogs. It's just a nice package in one place where listeners could go and get everything in one experience rather than jumping around to different places to find all of that.
I think this is, I want to tell you, I think this is a brilliant idea. I mean, I really think that. And here's why. There was a point where you used to pay for cable TV, and cable TV was all encompassing. You got all these channels, etc. But now with live streaming, you can pay only for the channels you want. If you want stars, you pay $4.99 a month for stars. If you want HBO or you want NBC, you pay per month to have that. You're not paying somebody else outside of them. The direct payment then goes exactly to the show or the company you want to see. And I think, John, this is the thing that you're trying to make. It's like, here's my show. And in my show, it's $4.99 a month to subscribe, or it's whatever your price is that you want to subscribe. And that way, you're so correct. The thing you said that I thought was so important, you said, I see podcasters as business owners. And I agree, but that's not how podcasting is sold, is it? It's sold as a organic marketing tool, and it's not treated as a business. And with an app, you begin to treat your business as a business. There are sponsorships, there are ways that your audience becomes the valuable tool that it is to get them engaged with your content, to supply them and serve them at the highest level that you could serve them. They need their own platform where it's like, hi, this is where I go to learn how to, and maybe you're a photography blog show, that photography vlog show, all your equipment and all this and everything else. Those sponsors now are directly working with you, and it's not through a third party platform. It's direct from you. And so what happens is that middleman is being erased because it's the middleman that controls you in that way. I think it's a bold move. And I also think that it's super visionary. because a lot of people that are would start with the app would not see. They'd be like, well, everybody goes and they go to YouTube and they search. That's where they search. And if I'm not there, well, that doesn't mean you negate YouTube. It's how you
Right.
use YouTube to move them to your app and to your
That's
community.
right.
And
That's where the funnel comes from.
I want to talk about how you do that, because I think I think this is a pretty revolutionary idea, and it's got teeth. And I mean that means it's got stickability. It's got teeth. It has the ability to change some of the wrongs in the industry. And that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I don't think it's a new idea. What you said is just
Mhm.
good business practice. The marketing funnel is you get your content out as far and wide as you can, but I mean, for the most part, you have to convert and pull those prospects into a funnel, and then they become your customers further down the funnel. And the way to do that is to pull them in to your shop, to your website, and to your mobile app to continue that relationship and grow that relationship. That's where the business is built. So it's not a new idea. The mobile app is just a format or a channel, I think, that hasn't been considered by indie
Podcasters.
podcasters for the
That's right.
cost. It can, I tried to build my own app a couple of years ago with an agency, and it cost close to $100,000 to do that, and that failed. And yeah, it's a big risk to build it that way. The technology has improved along the way, and we've got that price point down to $25 a month on a month to month as pay as you go situation, a subscription. So I think it's a new idea, which is why people may not know about it. But through your show, hopefully more people will know and give it a try. And any listeners that want to give it a try and mention Vickie, we're happy to give the first month free just to try it, see if you like it. And if you like it, then we continue. If not, no harm done. You would have learned something in the process. So happy to offer that.
Okay, so I want to talk to everybody listening right now. If you're driving the car, relax. I'll put everything you just promised in the show notes. Drive safe. You don't need to be rushing on your phone to get to his website. It's custommobile.app. And I think that everyone who is a podcaster right now, if you start treating it like a business instead of an organic reach marketing tool, you'll find out that there are ways to succeed that are happening right now. Like John says, I love what you're doing because the app is the doorway. I love that they go to your website. I love that their community is built in that side of it. You're right. It's not new. I've seen, so many YouTubers do that right now because of how they have been shutting down past things. It's like if you want to learn about cryptocurrency and you actually wanted some real data right now, some of those cryptocurrency people are being tossed off tons of
New
platforms
platforms.
just like that. And if you need a place to go to learn, then most people go to that backdoor part of the website. Your app could take them there. This is, I think, a bit of genius, because what it is another venue. It's another venue to get people involved. And what I see the app as is a buy button. Now, let me just tell you something. Most people don't think about the buy buttons they need to have. So you write a book, that's one buy button. You make a funnel, and maybe your funnel has 3 buy buttons inside of it. That's 4 buy buttons. But guess what? Russell has maybe 20,000 buy buttons. And that's why he's selling more. He has more buy buttons out there than you do. How many buy buttons are you putting in front of your customer so they can buy from you or learn more about what you're selling, or learn if this is great for you? The app is the buy button. And for $25 a month, if that buy button is out there working for you, don't you think that that's a great community builder? Like, you don't have to do this all by yourself. You're not the podcaster behind the microphone. It's just you and the world. There are things like what John has out there for you that can help you put another buy button, another pathway, another funnel, another place to your business so that you can actually sell. And I love how you've done this. And I want to know, So when you make a custom app, are they going to sit down and have a consultation with you? Is there something they fill out that helps them show that, so you can say, well, here's your point. I mean, when you make this for them, and
Mm.
they get to the point where they've created the path, you design the path as well with them, and then
Yeah.
$25 a month right now.
Yeah, we've tried to make it as simple as possible. So I think it's about as easy as it gets to get started. If you click through the website, you'll come to my Patreon page, which is my membership platform that I use to communicate
Mhm,
with my clients. Podcasters should be aware of Patreon, so that's
mhm.
familiar. And there's one or two communications that we do initially through Patreon just to guide us in information. And then I can usually spin up a demo app in a couple of days. You'll get a login, and then you log in, you can preview the app, and then we have a conversation there just to get that app just the way you like it. And then we can publish on your behalf to the App Store and Google Play. So end to
So
end,
to the
mhm,
App Store and Google Play, what about,
that's
are
right.
you talking about Apple as well
Apple
as
App
Google
Store.
Play?
Yes, the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store.
Interesting. Does it bypass needing a developer's ID and license?
No, so for Apple, you have to get your own Apple developer account, and that's part of the the information we would share in the beginning. That's something that Apple requires. So uh,
Mhm.
there's that requirement. For Google, no, but Google is very cheap, so you can get
Yeah,
it
so
at
you get
Google
on Google
developer
Play pretty quickly, and you might have to wait a little bit to get on app until they
a little
go
bit.
through there. Yeah, but you help them with that process.
Yeah, it's very straightforward. Yeah, we've onboarded now 40 plus clients. I'm
All
a small
right.
business owner myself, so I do this. You'll be dealing with me individually, personally. So we've gone through this a number of times now.
God, that is so cool. I'm super excited about the products you have and this as a possibility for other people who are looking for places to take. And I want to talk to the vloggers and the podcasters right now that are risking their audiences on other platforms that are probably maybe having marginal results, and your ability to talk to your own clients. I've had so many friends wake up in the morning and not be able to access their Facebook groups that have thousands and thousands and thousands of people on them, and they're put in jail, in Facebook jail, and then they can't talk to them for, I think I had a friend for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks she said this little innocuous statement, and the AI picked up on that, and she could not access the Facebook groups that she had and all the clients and everything else for 3 weeks. And that's the kind of thing that can happen so unexpectedly. And I know I've had to deal with Facebook jail, and I've had to deal with YouTube going, this video is risky. It can't be here. And this topic, you can't speak about this topic. And so the way that what the app provides is that back office door into your business, into your website. And I think every content producer should have a place where their content is stored that is not on that platform right now. And so I'm wondering, inside your app, is the content available to them inside your app so that everybody can just access it, even if you got locked out of wherever, that it would bypass into the app, like, I'm assuming
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
your content is your content. Um, Podcast content is hosted at a podcast host, right? That could be, there are many of those. Your video content you own, but like you said, if you're publishing only through third parties, then you can be deplatformed. So
Yeah.
it's good business practice to try to get as many direct connections to your listeners and your audience as possible through an email list. Has been around forever, and building an email list is so important. Everyone
Yep.
says to building a sustainable business. It's the
Yep.
same idea. Um, Having more of your listeners download your app so they can connect with you directly, communicate with you directly. And if you get deplatformed off of one thing, you still have your email list. You still have your own app downloaded users you can connect with. So it makes for a more sustainable, resilient business and audience than if you're only publishing through, like YouTube, for example, or you said Facebook as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm thinking, the iOS changes are going through my mind, and I'm looking at, better ways to do things. Then these changes are going to continue, and these algorithms are going to continue to work. John, I love what you're doing. I love the app thing. Listen, if you're out there and you are a podcaster and you're interested in creating something with John, where do you want him to go first?
Please check out our website, custommobile.app. And we have that website is focused just on podcasters, but in reality, we make business apps for content creators. So if you're a content creator, a writer, a photographer, videographer, having a business app could help your business. So please reach out. I'd love to speak with you.
So it's custommobile.app. It's custom, CUSTOM, mobile, MOBLE dot app. It should be ILE. That's why I spelled it that way. I spelled it out. It's MOBILE, mobile, and it's .app. And John, thank you for being on the Coffee Break Show today. I am absolutely impressed with how you're helping podcasters get ahead and helping them have such an incredible return on their investment. It is affordable and something that everybody should have. And so every week I bring you the best guests, the most top experts in the world. John is absolutely one of those people. If you're a podcaster, definitely go to the website, custommobile.app, and tell them that Vickie sent you, because then you get a month free. Come on. You guys just know that, month free. All right. I will see you guys next week, where we're going to have another exciting guest, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.